I reach for what is not there, and I fall farther down. My eyes are unseen, my face melting. All I can do is feel the tornado enveloping me. My body being shaken up and down, my mind at the very bottom of the pit that will never end. I reach down and my frame rattles, my bones are falling and pounding on something that they found, that they can touch. They are free of me. I am nothing but air now, and I do not think of anything but the air surrounding me. Now its arms are welcoming, and I lean in and up. I am spiraling. I am floating, and what I see is the sun, the bright hot sun, melting what is left of me, which is nothing. I am riding on pure beauty, and I am crystal blue like the sky, like the place I'm in, the place I'm being, the place where I'm hiding and I'm happy not to be found. And another hand touches my arm. Air moves to give me a limb, and I feel cold and heavy. I feel empty and quiet like a stone, like something that's falling back down.
Wow, that's really great. That's amazing. Okay, so there's a couple of things I want to say about the poem. So the poem is maybe you'll remember some of this from, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. This poem is a paradox. It begins with a paradox. It announces, the speaker of the poem announces that I reach up or reach out to touch what is not there. So that there's already we're in the realm of the paradox, touching something that doesn't exist, reaching out to hold something that isn't there. Um, then what it seems like what we have at the very beginning of the poem is a kind of horrific situation. Maybe it's kind of a description of some kind of emotional or psychological torment or struggle. The face of the speaker is melting. So we think that we're undergoing some kind of catabasis, that we're like moving down into, as I say, some kind of psychological anguish. Maybe it's a description, maybe it's a literal description of some kind of hellish scene, or maybe it's a metaphorical description of some kind of internal turmoil. But the reason why this poem is so amazing and why I like it so much is that actually what's happening is the very opposite of a catabasis. It's not, in fact, a downward spiral, although we are told, I think you might have even used the word spiral and the word down. But what ends up happening is, like, paradoxically, the body of the speaker is lifted up toward the sun. The body of the speaker becomes nothing but air. And the speaker says, I am riding on beauty, which is one of my favorite lines in the poem. So there's this weird, it's almost like the poem moves down and then back up again. And then I love the end of the poem, where the speaker, I'm trying to remember the line. The It's almost like the literal image is upward moving toward the sun, and you describe the image of floating upward. But then you say like a stone, I think, and then there's this how does it end? There's something about falling back down. What's that last image? Do you want to just read that again for us?
Okay, and another hand touches my arm. Air moves to give me a limb, and I feel cold and heavy. I feel empty and quiet like a stone, like something that's falling back down.
Okay, it's an incredible metaphor because we know from earlier in the poem that the speaker is ascending, that the speaker has become air and is moving toward the sun. But that floating upward feels like, and then you use this metaphor, falling back down like a stone. So that's a paradox of the poem, that the literal ascension feels like falling down. I feel this way sometimes when like, if you ever lie on your back and look up at the stars for a really, really long time, like an hour or more, you you might get this feeling, or at least I have in the past, that actually you're like suspended up in the air and looking down. It's like the craziest thing. But that's what the poem reminds me of. It's like the poem is literally moving up, but the metaphor you use to describe the upward motion is a stone falling back down. It's great paradox. Paradox is something I think that you're really good at, Emma. And that poem does it really well. It's great.